She asked today if we could reschedule, and I said absolutely. So we'll talk to her next week. And remember, last week we talked about Sheridan and Gillette community colleges canceling all their sports. Well, that did not include rodeo, but it may. There's a meeting with the Board of Trustees coming up. So that's why Kelsey has to reschedule, because it's coming up later this week. And by the way, this is a 3-day week for me. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We're going to take Thursday, Friday off, probably Monday next week too, just to enjoy the holiday. So think about that while you're out and about. There is rodeo. There was rodeo this weekend, and we'll talk about the Northern Rodeo. There is NRA and PRCA action in the state of Montana this week. We'll chat about that coming up. And I think I mentioned the Auto Contest Performance of the Week is coming up too. So, all right, let's get going. Good weekend. Told you about that. Shot very well on the back nine. Did not shoot well on the front nine, but had a lot of fun. So Montana had a record high, 57 COVID cases today announced. So there you go. Almost 300 active cases now. And keeps going, keeps growing. North Dakota with a bunch more. Wyoming with a bunch more. And it just keeps rising. So I guess we're supposed to say, wear your mask. A Montana State football player, at least one, tested positive for the COVID. That came out over the weekend. So there's that news. What else? Yep, Montana State player. Of course, they won't say a name. They use, this is funny. Colleges and universities do this all the time. They use HIPAA violation as an excuse, but it's really, I mean, if somebody has the COVID, it should be reported. So an MSU athletic spokesman said that athletes are still allowed in select workout facilities, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Future of college sports, man, in high school this year remains up in the air. It really does. I did see, was it Boomer Esiason came out today on his radio show and said all these college football players are purposely getting the COVID. They're having like COVID parties so they don't get it during the season. I'm not sure. I don't think, do we know if you can get COVID more than once? I don't know if anybody knows this yet. So, I don't know. I just don't know. It's just part of our daily lexicon, COVID. That's where we're at. So, MSU football player tested positive. At least one. We're going to have more. Going to have more UM. We're going to have, frontier schools. We're MSUB. I mean, it's going to happen. We're going to get COVID stuff. This is funny, though. So, California, Texas, Florida, shutting down bars and restaurants again. And I saw somebody in Montana this weekend that said it's because Gallatin County's cases are so high because kids are going to parties and bars and stuff. It was about 2 weeks ago that there was a big protest in Bozeman. 3 weeks ago, and now people are testing positive in high rapid rates. Just a statement. Just throwing that out there. You're blaming bars and parties and restaurants. Do people not? Is there a certain group in America that doesn't want small businesses to succeed? It really feels that way. You're going to blame bars and restaurants for this COVID outbreak across the country the last few weeks. When did the protests start? Just a question. Just throwing it out there for you to think about. Major League Baseball thinks it's coming back. And today, 3 players opted out of the year. 2 from the world champ now, Washington Nationals, World Series champions, including Ryan Zimmerman. And Mike Leake from Arizona said he's not going to play this year. and they all cite family and COVID-related concerns. And I think it's very commendable for these players to being opting out. It's up to them. They don't get paid this year, but I mean, these guys are making millions anyway. It doesn't really matter. Very interesting. These players are opting out, and we're seeing a couple of NBA guys opt out already. And you've seen, not because of COVID, but some WNBA ladies have said they're not going to play. It'll be interesting to see how sports moves forward this year. Because we're getting close, for fall sports, we're getting close to drop dead dates. Sometime in July, you're going to have to make decisions on whether you're going to have seasons or not. It'll be interesting. We got some great nominees for Auto Contest Performance of the Week coming up. We'll also tell you the winners at the Northern Rodeo action down at Big Timber. Montana Gatorade Boys Track and Field Athlete of the Year was named Gatorade Athlete today. You remember last week, Angelica Street from Columbia Falls went back-to-back, which is awesome because she's just a stud. So that's cool. So we're going to talk Auto Contest Performance of the Week coming up here in a little bit. Jason Walker Show is brought to you in part by Green Meadow Country Club. Make sure you get signed up. Get out there, sign up, become a member. Great food, great soups this week. I know today and tomorrow are Chef's Choice for lunch soups, but they've got some great ones lined up for the week. And it's just a great place to hang out. Great place to golf. Of course, the next couple of days with all the rain, you're going to have to walk if you're going to be out golfing in it. I will not be. I'm not a fair-weather golfer, but I'm not going to golf in rain when I don't have to. Now, if it rains while we're on the course, that's fine. We're already prepared for that. I got a rain suit. But I'm not purposely going to go out in the rain. I'm not a pro. Well, I have made money golfing, so I guess I am a professional golfer. I'm also a professional fisherman because we've won money in a pike tournament, 11 years ago. We also, I guess I'm a professional bowler because I've won money bowling in leagues and state. So I'm like a I feel like a little like was it Jackie Robinson was like a 18 sport athlete at UCLA? I mean, I'm a professional athlete in multiple. I'm like Chuck Connors, the rifleman. He was a pro baseball player with the Dodgers. He was a pro basketball player with the Celtics. Pretty good actor. There we go. I'm going to compare myself to Chuck Connors because I offended somebody by saying Jackie Robinson, I'm sure. Hello, America. What are we offended by today? I did see this I wanted to bring up because this is just, I don't know if this is funny or ridiculous or what, but the NBA, there's an article on CBSSports.com I read, says along with COVID-19 and injuries, mental health risks for NBA players in the Disney bubble must also be taken into consideration. And this line stood out for me, and you can read it at CBSSports.com. This paragraph, quote, the NBA situation is particularly unique because the players aren't just worrying about performance, they're also trying to figure out how to remain in good mental space despite being away from their families and support system for at least a month, while being limited to the Disney campus for as long as 3 months. All of this under the constant threat of contracting a potentially fatal virus. Forget winning a championship, simply making it to the end of the season in Orlando will be a challenge in itself, end quote. I've never been in the military. I've never served in any of the military branches. I thank everyone that does, past, present, and future. But NBA players being away from their families for at least a month. Give me a freaking break. Why don't you talk to those men and women that are deployed for a year or more at a time overseas, away from their families? And all of that under the constant threat of contracting not a potentially fatal virus, but contracting death. at the hands of an enemy. COVID, corona, whatever, 99 plus percentage livable rate. You're going to live. But NBA players spending a month at least away from their families and support system. World comes to an end if the NBA players can't go a month without seeing their family. Give me a freaking break. Seriously? That's you're gonna that mental health of the NBA player. Go read it, cbssports.com. Just stupid. Absolutely stupid. All right, we're gonna thank you to our military, by the way. And we will be celebrating this 4th of July, our Independence Day. And hopefully more than a couple of ways. All right, we're going to come back. When we do, something positive. Helena Senators, a nominee for Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. They had a hell of a weekend down in Bozeman. We'll talk to Coach John Burnett when we return here on The Jason Walker Show.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes, and for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com. Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
June is anniversary month at Rucker's Furniture, and you won't believe the savings you'll find on the largest selection of home furnishings in Helena. At Rucker's, you'll find sofas, sleepers, recliners, reclining sofas, leather, bedroom, dining room, occasional tables, entertainment consoles, Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in town, and more. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. For great values on new looks for your home, shop the anniversary sale at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back on a Monday. Jason Walker Show, Major Mortgage Man Cave. Had a good time golfing with JR from Major Mortgage on Saturday. If you get a chance to think about refinancing or buying a home or selling or whatever, get a hold of JR at Major Mortgage. He will take care of you for sure. No question about it. Auto Concepts Performance of the Week coming up. Famous Montanan retires from the NFL. We'll talk about that. And more cancel culture coming up. All right. But this is one of the nominees for the Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. The Helena Senators winning the Heroes Park Invitational down in Bozeman over the weekend. And joining us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline is the coach, John Burnett. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Jason. I mean, what a weekend for my guys. I have not seen us play that well in probably a couple of years.
What was it?
You know, it was. I don't know what it was. I mean, that championship game, we got the word they were moving it to Saturday night, 9:30, 10 o'clock start, and we were playing a very good opponent. You know, out of Yakima. They've won national champions in the past. Very historic program, and man, our guys were locked in. They were excited, and everything they threw us, we pounded it all over the park.
Well, you win 23-3, I think was the final score. Yeah, you're obviously the guys were feeling it at the plate. Yeah,
locked in, taking great at bats 1 through 9, 16 hits I think it was,
wow.
And like 7 extra base hits. It was something else. It was fun to watch.
Obviously, can't win a tournament if you don't hit the ball, and it sounds like you did all weekend long. And but you also have to field it too. And behind great pitching, we'll talk about the pitching in a second. But fielding, last year when you and I talked, that was always a concern. How you feeling this year?
Good. I think we're very solid defensively. You know, we still have our high school age mistake. Where we lose a little focus and we'll miss one we shouldn't. But this year we've been solid with the gloves, and we're fielding the ball very well. Our pitchers are throwing strikes, and it's a good recipe.
Speaking of pitching, as John Burnett joins us here, Jason Walker Show. Great performances last week. Did that benefit you going into the tournament?
It was kind of funny because we had those 4 conference games, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we open up tournament play on Thursday. So it was kind of fun to see because we didn't have the Ethan Keinses and the Cy Millers and Chase Nielsen. We didn't have them available to pitch at the tournament. So it was fun to see those guys that hadn't quite gotten as many reps out there, kind of hand them the ball and tell them to go for it. And we had great pitching performances. I think we had 4 complete games out of 5 played. And yeah, the guys we brought up, we brought Gavin Tennis up from our A squad, and he pitched great against the defending Colorado State champs and limited them to 1 run.
Nice. John Burnett joining us here, Jason Walker Show on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. You mentioned those performances that you got in the conference games, and that obviously beneficial because you didn't have to use the bullpen in the tournament, but if you needed to, they were well rested.
Yeah. I mean, we got great pitching in those conference games. So anytime a pitcher goes deep, especially, I think we played 9 games in a 6-day span. Actually, in a 5-day span, since we didn't end up playing on Sunday, we played Saturday night. So we had 9 games in 5 days. So yeah, our pitching staff going deep into games but not really high on the pitch count. We had Hunter Lindgren started a game against Cal-State, and he threw a complete game in 74 pitches, I think it was. So he was available with pitch count to come back and pitch in that championship game. And yeah, I mean, we're still kind of watching arms and making sure we're not running guys up there too high, but they've been doing a great job for us.
What do you guys, your pitching staff think they're Greg Maddux and going out here and throwing complete games in less than 80 pitches?
It's a nice problem to have. Yeah, for sure.
John Burnett, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. I do have to ask one COVID-related question with this tournament. You had teams from Washington. Was there an Oregon team there, or were they in Billings, I think? But you have these teams from states with high infection rates. Any concern? Did you guys have any concern about that going in playing this tournament?
So there's not a lot of interaction, I guess, on the field with the other teams. where you're in close proximities for an extended period of time. We are concerned as a coaching staff and as a program to try to limit our players' exposure. We were down in Gallatin County. We stayed at a hotel. So we made sure we didn't take the players out to any restaurants. We were either at the ballpark or at the hotel. We didn't let the kids go out and walk around town and, go to the mall and do the kind of things that they like to do. So we go to the ballpark, we'd play our game, we'd come home and we'd order the food in and have it delivered to the hotel. And, it did kind of, help bond the team a little bit more too. But it definitely wasn't a normal hotel tournament trip for us.
Well, after growing up in Bozeman, I can say that going to the mall is not cool anyway. So they didn't miss anything in Bozeman over the weekend. And that's very smart. And I know we've had some disagreements on, in text message over the last couple of months, but I think that's a very good plan that you guys put in place. Going to the hot spot in the state, or one of the 3 hot spots in Bozeman. And, I know that it's dangerous, I guess, to go and to think about this stuff, and it's scary to think about this stuff. And you guys put together a hell of a plan, and it looks like it's working so far. And I commend you for that.
Yeah. It's something that's definitely in our mind, and of course, we want to make sure these kids are protected, and myself and my coaching staff and our families are all protected as much as we can. But at the same time, the kids want to be out there playing, and I think it's a great thing for them to be out there playing and not missing out on that part of their life and their Legion careers. And, some of them, this is a chance for, to get some colleges to look at them and that sort of thing. And it might kind of help them for where they go in the future. So it's definitely something that we're concerned with and we're aware of, but we're doing the best that we can to try to keep them as safe as possible.
Hey, at least you're in a couple of communities that get to play baseball. I mean, Missoula, it's up in the air every day, it seems like, over there. I feel bad for the Mavs.
Yeah, and they're allowing them to play, their normal games, just not the tournament setting. And I've talked with Coach Hathaway. I get where he's coming from. I know he's pretty frustrated, but that's just something that he's working with the county health department, and that's what they've decided.
Yep, it's crazy. John Burnett, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. All right, now big weekend coming up for you guys. Hopefully the rain ends on Wednesday like it's supposed to, and hopefully you got the field tarped.
As of right now, it's not, but we plan on getting it tarped. If we need to. We were kind of with our A team at a tournament, and the field really could use the water to kind of get back into shape. But it will be ready to go on Thursday. As long as the weather stays, the forecast is the way it is.
The forecast looks pretty good, and it is the big weekend because it is the Keith Sell tournament. And I talked to Mr. Sell back in, I think April, and this is a guy that he gave everything to the Senators for so long, and to have his name on the tournament sure means a lot to him. And it was fun to talk with him. Have you talked to him recently?
I have not talked with him. I talked with his son, with Mike down there in Bozeman. He's, of course, Caden's on my team, so we do have that connection. And it's 25 years of this tournament. And Keith was such a big part of our program. It's just the history of it, and getting to play at our field and having Caden's connection to the tournament. It's just something special for sure.
It definitely is, and he's such a great guy to talk with. And I know he was hoping to get back. I haven't heard if he made it back in May yet, but excuse me. But yeah, just a fun guy and a fun tournament. Speaking of the tournament, you got you had to do some readjusting with the schedule and the teams that are coming in, but you made it work, and we're going to have a tournament this weekend. How were you able to get it all come together?
Well, it was a dynamic process. Usually, I like to have the schedule out, 3 to 4 weeks in advance, and I actually just got the schedule out yesterday. We had team called me on Friday and asked if we still had openings, and just added another one on Sunday. So it was dynamic, but we have 7 good quality clubs. We're excited about the level of talent that'll be in Helena, and yeah, just excited to get out of Kendrick. It's pretty cool for those out of town teams to play on our field. It's kind of got that old time ballpark
Yep.
feel with the bleachers, and teams just love playing there.
I think those are the 1970s Oakland A's bleachers. Is that right?
Yeah.
The seats?
The seats are.
They're
Some of
old.
them still have that. They still have the A sticker on the back of them.
Yes, they do. John Burnett, our guest here. All right, what teams didn't come? First off,
Well, we had a premier team out of the Post Falls, Spokane area that was supposed to come. They were supposed to bring their 19U and I believe their 17U, and for whatever reason, they called me and just said, we're not going to be able to make it. So that kind of put us in a hole when you lose two teams at once. And then
Right.
there was another team out of Utah that was going to come up, and they were supposedly a very good team out of Utah. And as we were driving down to Bozeman on Thursday, I sent Coach text, saying, "Hey, 8:00 Thursday, you'll be playing the Senators first game." And he responded with, "Oops, forgot to tell you we can't make it." So
how do you forget
was-
to tell somebody you're not coming to their tournament?
yeah. So luckily, I had been in talks with the Yakima Valley Pepsi Pack and their coach, and they were going to go to Reno, Nevada for a tournament, and that didn't go off. So he called me Thursday night and said, "Hey, we'd love to come up if you have a spot open." And yeah, that worked out great for us.
Nice. Who's that team that always comes? Is it East Lake? Is that what they're or East Side?
East Side, yeah, East Side out of the Seattle area. They are not able to come this year, but they did. Their coach was actually the one that got the Mudville Pinnacle Northwest team. That's supposedly one of the better teams out of that Seattle area. He's the one that got me in contact with him. And
Okay.
So they're trying to fill in that East Side spot, and that was something their coach. He was a little heartbroken coming up here for, the 12 years, and he just loves coming to our tournament. But he said they're not even practicing or playing yet. So
Wow.
hopefully next year.
Dang. John Burnett, our guest here. All right, so of the teams that are here, you got 7. Take me through the tournament. It starts Thursday, and what's that first day schedule look like?
Yeah, first kind of not the full 5 games. I did make a couple agreements with some of the coaches that can't make it till Friday. So the first day we're only going to play 4 games. It opens up with the 12:30 game. We have the Senators playing Glacier Twins. Glacier is one of the better A teams out of the state of Montana. Always good contenders. So we're excited they're back. Then we have Bozeman playing Glacier. So Glacier's doing a back-to-back. And then Bozeman is going to be playing the Yakima Valley Pepsi Pack. And, I believe the Pepsi Pack's on an 18-game winning streak from what I last read. So they're a very solid team that contend for that Washington AAA state title every year at the Legion level. And then the night game Thursday, we have Senators. Again, we're playing the Yakima Beetles, who's the team we just played in the championship game down there. And I'll tell you, we beat them 23-3. But that is a very good baseball team, and I have a feeling we're going to get their best shot with their ace. And
Yep.
we watched him pitch. And he's every bit 91, 92 miles an hour. So he's a University of Utah signee. And we're excited. We're excited to get to watch him. He's a phenomenal player.
Well, hopefully you guys do more than just sit and watch him, and hopefully you hit against him.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get out there and compete. We're gonna try to put the ball in play, scratch it out. I have no problem with playing a little small ball if that's needed. But yeah, we'll get out there and compete, and we'll give it our best shot. And we'll toss. But we're probably gonna toss Cy in that game. So it'll be a fun environment, good atmosphere. Should be lots of fun.
And, of course, it's always a great tournament to Keith Sell, and it'll run through Sunday, Championship Sunday. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Are you guys going to have any fireworks on the 4th?
No.
Just on the field, right?
Yeah. Just the in-game action. I thought about trying to incorporate that, but I'm not sure what it would what we need to do with the city permits and all that. So maybe sometime in the future that might be something we check into. And then I'm always a little concerned. We got those grandstands that are all wood. I don't know if it's, fireworks and all that. I wouldn't want to have my name on something ever happening to our field. So.
That's true. Keith Sell likes you. He told me that when we talked. He said you're doing a great job with the team, and I don't know if you burned down the field on his tournament. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah, no. I like you said, I think maybe we'll just keep those fireworks to the on-game action.
I like it. Don't be a stranger, Coach. Good luck in this tournament, and we'll chat down the road.
All right, sounds good, Jason. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Coach. That is John Burnett joining us. Jason Walker Show as the Keith Sell tournament getting underway Thursday over at Kendrick. It is a ton of fun, and the forecast looks to be like in the 70s and the 80s, which is great because there's been tournaments at the Keith Sell in years past, in the last 6 years, where we're talking mid to upper 90s for these games. So you should have a nice, cool weekend for the tournament, which will be a lot of fun. If you're staying in town this weekend, I highly recommend getting over to Kendrick and checking out some great baseball. They have great teams each and every year that come to town for this tournament, and this year it's not going to be any different. So Thursday it opens up and runs through Sunday. The Keith Sell tournament over at Kendrick. John Burnett joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. That is where all of our guests appear. And make sure you get a hold of Mike for all of your auto, home, and life insurance needs. Auto and home insurance and life, yeah. All right, let's see. So baseball's playing. There was Northern Rodeo over the weekend at Big Timber and at Opheim. Did not get Opheim results yet. But did get Big Timber results. So, and let me check one more time, see if we get Opheim. Did they enter them in? Nope, not yet. All right, so I did get Big Timber. And winners at Big Timber. Let's see. In Bareback, split in first and second. Riley Heath and Will Nordstrom from East Helena. So dual winners there, each winning $500. Nice. Saddle Bronc, Judd Applegate from Deer Lodge takes the win with an 83, pocketing almost $800. Bull Riding had a three-way tie for first. Riley Bard, Kyler McDonald, and Justin Ketzenberg. One Montanan and two Tonians looks like took the win, each with $689 plus. That's awesome. Steer Wrestling, Ty Erickson set the tone Friday morning in Slack with a 3-1, and that held up for the entire weekend. In fact, nobody was within 2 seconds of Ty. So the world champion, PRCA steer wrestling titleist, Ty Erickson, goes down to Big Timber, runs in Slack Friday morning, gets a 3-1, and then wins by 2.1 seconds. Cole DeHaan, the second. No. Roping, Garrett Duncan and Colton Fisher go 5-1, pocket over $1,100 each. Ladies barrel racing, Haley Garrison gets the win by 0.04 of a second over Lindsay Cruz. And in breakaway, Alicia Bird of Cutbank goes 2-2. So congratulations to the winners at Big Timber for the Northern Rodeo Association. Opheim ran over the weekend, no results. But a couple of rodeos coming up this week on the NRA. You've got Harlow running on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the 2nd through the 4th. And then Ennis runs on Friday and Saturday. And we'll have the day sheets later this week. You can go to northernrodeo.com to follow all of the NRA action. There will be PRCA action as well at Roundup on the 3rd and the 4th. And that'll be fun, too. All right. Let's see. What else did we want to chat about? Oh, we got some cancel culture stuff we're talking about coming.
Is open and ready for you to stop in and stock up for the summer. How does a Big Sky flank steak sound? Or a sage roasted pork loin? June's menu also includes a Parmesan tilapia and a variety of fantastic chicken cuisines and more. And if that's not enough, dinner's done right. Grab and Go Soup, Salad, and Nacho Bar is back as well, with one exception. The delightful staff now will make it for you. And don't forget deliveries to Bozeman and Great Falls on select days. Stop in at 1212 Cedar Street in Helena or visit dinnersdoneright.com. Dinners Done Right is open. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-14, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Final segment on a Monday. Jason Walker Show, Major Mortgage Man Cave. Segment brought to you by Mark LaRoe Photography. Check it out right here. That is one of Mark's photos over my left shoulder. Well, not really over my left shoulder. I guess it's just to the left of me. You're right, as you watch on the Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. MarkLaRoePhotography.com. If you book a senior or family portrait package, Mark will set you up with a free 8x10 canvas or matte print just by mentioning the Jason Walker Show. And if you purchase anything from Mark's gallery, Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery, you'll get 20% off by mentioning the Jason Walker Show. So there you go. Good stuff. MarkLaRoePhotography.com. All right. Speaking of photos, so I told you this photo right here, that was taken, that is Dick Lyman. Great guy. That photo was taken at the Townsend NRA Rodeo a few years ago. There will be no Townsend NRA Rodeo this year. It was canceled on Friday evening, just about 20 minutes after we got off the air on Friday. They announced that they had canceled the show, or the rodeo, which is terrible. I'm just sad. And tough. It's a tough decision. None of these decisions are tough. Okay? And I feel bad for the Townsend Rodeo Committee. It was a split decision, but at the end, Skyview is the Gatorade Montana Boys and Track and Field Athlete of the Year announced today. He is the first boys athlete from track and field to be chosen from Skyview. The award, as we know, recognizes outstanding athletic excellence, high standards of academic achievement, and exemplary character demonstrated on and off the field. He is now a finalist for the national award to be announced in July. He is 6'8", 175. Went over 6'10" in the high jump a couple of times in the 2019 season. And congrats to him. Won the high jump at state last year. No track and field this spring. He also volunteers as a youth basketball coach. He is going to play at North Idaho College, play basketball. 3.39 GPA as well. So congratulations to Julius Sims from Skyview. There was a retirement over the weekend, and maybe some people saw it, maybe some people didn't, but Glendive, it was just the right time, citing aches and pains, and of course what everybody says, and completely wholeheartedly agree with him, the desire to spend more time with his wife and children. He's got 3 kids growing up, and he's 32. He was released by San Francisco in March, just over a month after getting him to the Super Bowl, and played in all 58 offensive snaps in that loss to Kansas City. 7th round draft choice by the Niners in 2011. Also was with the Seahawks, Chiefs, Rams, Falcons, and Colts. Went back to San Francisco and started 30 games and getting them to the Super Bowl, as we mentioned. Person's one of the great guys. There's no question about it. From Glendive to what he did at Montana State. And, he was all-state player at Dawson. He went to MSU. I think at 35 straight starts at MSU. And says he's going to do a lot of fishing and hanging out with the family. So congratulations to Mike Person. A great person. Pun intended. There you go. This segment, as we mentioned, brought to you by Mark Leroux Photography. I saw this. So I don't know if the National Women's Soccer League has their Challenge Cup going on. And several teams did the kneeling during the national anthem over the weekend. And the NWSL today said it would allow players to stay in locker rooms or kneel. So if you're a player and you don't want to go out and kneel, then you can stay in your locker room. The NWSL said we're going to continue to play the national anthem, but with even more flexibility and support each player's right to express their individual views or not. Saying, quote, kneel on the field, stand with your hand over your heart, honor your feelings in the privacy of the locker room or at midfield, end quote. So you get to choose what you want it to do. All right. Woody Guthrie was a racist. Documented. Google it. Look it up. It's on my Twitter page, too. But that's the guy that they want to replace the national anthem with. So just think about that as you move forward in all of this cancel culture crap that's going on. Okay? There's folks that want to replace our national anthem with a song from a noted racist whose dad was in the KKK. All right. What other good news do we have? Havre native. Ex-Grizz Mark Mariani named ESPN's AFC South All-Decade team for the 2010s. Good job. Congratulations. That's awesome. Even as a Grizz. I got to thinking about something today, and I'll have to do some research. But if anybody listening can help me out on this. Troy Purcell coached a couple of NFL players, both at Havre and Bozeman. Has he coached the most in high school in the state of Montana that went on to college or to the pros? I'd have to do some research. It was just a question that popped into my head today. I'm like, I wonder, because he coached Mariani up at Havre. Brock Coyle at Bozeman. Would he have had Fletcher at Bozeman too? Dane? I have to do some thinking. And by the way, speaking of research, I found, so we talked about the ESPN had done a few years ago, this thing that's been popping up on social media last week, the top 50 like most difficult sports, and they had rodeo basically at number 42, bull riding. They had steer wrestling at 15, which acceptable, but they had bull riding and bronc and saddle bronc and bareback at 42, and boxing number 1. I found their list of how they did their thing, how they came up with their list. We're going to talk about that, and I'm going to make my own list over the weekend, I think. So we might get to that tomorrow, but I'm going to make my own list. I don't know if I'll do 50, because technically there's only, according to Ernest Hemingway, there's only 3 sports: bullfighting, auto racing, and mountain climbing are the only true 3 sports. Everything else is just a game. But I'll come up with a handful of the most difficult sports/games. I'll give you my rationales over the weekend. So next week sometime. All right, let's see. What else did we want to get to? There's more cancel culture stuff, but I'm going to save that for a couple of more minutes here. Talked about Julius Mims. We got to Mike Person. Let's do your Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. Auto Concepts, man, I had my truck detailed. Field Boys Athlete of the Year. Got Mike Person, who had a great career. Mark Mariani, an all-decade list. NRA winners. Don't forget, by the way, speaking of rodeo, you also have Sankey Drive-In Rodeo still continuing outside Joliet. Go to SankeyProRodeo.com. And you also had the Helena Senators taking the Bozeman tournament over the weekend. But who do we give the Auto Concepts Performance of the Week to? I think anytime a guy retires after leading a team to a Super Bowl appearance, let's go with Mike Person. What a great career he had, 9 years in the NFL, just retired. I'd give it to Mariani, but he's already retired. Mike Person, our Auto Concepts Performance of the Week for the career that he had. I like that. All right, on this day in history, it is brought to you by the Motherlode Sports Barn. We're all downhill from here. We've reached the summer equinox. Is that what it's called? Longest day of the summer last week, or longest day of the year, first day of the summer, and now we're going. 2020 is going downhill from here. Today is National Almond Butter Crunch Day. I think like that. I think I've had it. It is National Camera Day, and we have 3 here in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. That is called the Talent Camera. We have the Guest Camera, and then the main camera. So there you go. National Camera Day. What else is to check your scorecards, everyone? 1983, 40-year-old Puerto Rican jockey Angel Cordero Jr. won his 5,000th race, just the 4th at the time to achieve that milestone. 1986, Sparky Anderson was the first to win 600 games as a manager in both leagues. And in 1990, Oakland A's Dave Stewart no-hit the Toronto Blue Jays. And then later that day, Fernando Valenzuela of the Dodgers tossed a no-hitter against St. Louis. The first time we had no-hitters in both leagues on the same day. Happy birthday, Harmon Killebrew. Born on this date in 1936 in Payette, Idaho. Died in 2011. Nicole Scherzinger's birthday is today. Who's Nicole Scherzinger? She's on, what is it, America's Got Talent? Something like that? She was born in 1978 in Honolulu. She's a singer on the Pussycat Dolls. One of the greatest bands of all time. Primo Carnera won a boxing match on this date early in the 30s. And then on this date in 1967, he died. Alcohol-related liver disease. He was 60. He was the heavyweight champ in 1933 and 34. Jane Mansfield died on this date in 1967 as well. Born Vera Jane Palmer. Died in a car crash at 34. Lana Turner passed away on this date in 1995. And Katharine Hepburn died on this date in 2003. WalkerShow.com. All right, let's do this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What?
Hey, can we cancel culture yet? For the love of everything, grow up, people. Just grow up. Quit being offended by everything. Put on your big boy pants or big girl pants and grow up. See you tomorrow at 4. Jason Walker Show. We're going to have a good time, I promise.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and